Okay, Joe, we're going to get started on your first watch, which is Navigator Timer. Now this one came without a bezel, but I pulled the one off of your other watch, and we're going to try and fit this one to make sure it's right. This crystal has a crack, so we're going to remove that. I think it probably still has a very good insert. The tension ring is probably good. But this one, in terms of condition, as we've discussed, shows the best in terms of what the dial and the insert and all the other components have. This is not an original sweep second, so that's been replaced. I'm not sure how you want to proceed with that. I may have a silver, more accurate sweep second for this watch, although it's a fairly long sweep second for the Navigator Timer. I will look through my stock and see if I have one. If not, this will do, and it looks good. I kind of like it actually, but I'll keep an eye out for something as we go that might be able to replace that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So this one's seen some service. It's been serviced at least twice. I'm not sure what these numbers mean. I see what might be a 79 or a 99. I'm not sure. And then another set of numbers. But like we said, that's not really too much information to go on. Okay, let's go ahead and you're running, so that's a good place to start. You can see you got a lot of brassing on your barrel, and it's super loose, so we're definitely going in for a barrel. You know, you got some brassing on the outer edges of your movement due to some slop here. We may be able to tighten that up a little bit. Let's go ahead and get your winding weight off. Okay, so this is a 6117B, 17 joules. Pretty standard. And what's nice about this, it's the chamfered edge movement. These edges here are nice, and they will shine up nicely as we get this thing clean. It's got some hazing in it, so you know, it's a same story. It's seen use and age, and I'm sure all the seals have dried out, except for the yeah, so that's okay. It doesn't look bad. It looks pretty good. I don't know if that just came off or if it had come off before. Yeah, I think it just popped off. Go ahead and get your winding ball taken care of. All right, let's take the power out of your movement here. Okay, didn't have very much. ring. Looks to be in good shape. You don't have a lot of water intrusion. These usually get rusty if they're badly damaged by water. No, this looks good, nice and clean. You got an old seal here that needs to be replaced. We'll get that taken care of. All right, now we can get your watch out of the case. Okay. Looks pretty good. All right. It's a good starting spot. I think we got a nice clean dial here. No real issues. Maybe some hazing that we can clean up like we did on your other one. We'll take a nice clean piece of Rotoco here and see if I can get your dial to. It's supposed to be a nice matte finish, and it is. Yeah, so that's a good place to start. Your hands, you know, they've seen some age and wear, but you know, it's not terrible. We can try and polish those up just a little bit, keep them in good shape. Yeah, I'll take a close look at your hands and see what kind of shape they're in. Let's go back to midnight. Get everybody lined up. It's interesting that they swapped your sweep second. Yeah, it's curious. Okay. Make sure to protect everybody. Okay. Looks good. Looks good. All right. Let's go ahead and get everybody else off. Get your dial out here. Yeah, whoever did this work. Ugh. Kind of put your dial in a weird spot in your dial ring. It's okay. Give it a quick rotation. We're all right. Okay. Here's your dial. All right, Joe, I just wanted to real quickly add a little bit of historical importance here. Your dial is marked, which is nice to see. Some of them aren't on these Navitimers for some reason, and it's marked with a 2.8, and you can see here you've got 2.7 on your back of your case, and so that's accurate for Seiko. So you would imagine that the case was made a month before the dial, and so that's correct, which is nice to see. All right, got your dial and hands tucked away. So let's go ahead and keep going on your movement. Here's your very important wavy washer, 24-hour, 12-hour, Cannon pinion. And go ahead and start by working on your other side here. And for my movement holder, which seems to have disappeared. There it is. Okay. Okay. All right, so here we go. That baby is loose. We're definitely putting some jewels in this movement. Let's go ahead and get your balance taken care of. There we go. Hairspring looks pretty flat from first glance. Just take a very close look at that as we go. Such an important piece for the healthier movement. Absolutely essential for good running. Have to take a very close look, make sure everything's good there. Take out your palette fork. Yeah, these pieces are pretty clean overall. Got some definite dirt in your movement. Not sure where that came from, but that will have to go. There's some haziness, you know, this is just old and bad seals over time lead to that kind of outcome. Palette stones look flat, pretty good. Those are good. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh, oh, that's loose. I'm not sure if people are afraid to tighten these things, but they are definitely looser than they should be. That's hardly even in. Yeah, that's okay. It'll be right when we're done. Check all your components, make sure that all their clearances are good with their bushings and their jewels. Take a very close look at everything. There's your upper mainspring arbor port bushing, which will be replaced with a jewel. There's your fourth wheel. Your third wheel. Escape lever. And your barrel. Woo! Alright. Woo-hoo-hoo. Funky. Oh my. Interesting. Well, well, well. Somebody has done something rather crude. Yeesh. Oh my goodness. All right. It's one of those moments where you kind of shake your head. All right, so I don't know if you can see this. I'm gonna try and do something crazy here, like up the magnification of my lens. Actually, try and use this one here. All right, I'm gonna try and bring this up to view here. That is your current state of your lower mainspring arbor port. Somebody in the past tried to do what we're doing these days with actual jewels, and had put a bushing in there and then gouged your lower port nearby. That's an actual cut in the metal, in the brass. I'm a little nervous. I have some oversized jewels, which we may have to put inside of here to make this right. That's disconcerting, I have to say. It's very unfortunate that somebody has done this. Daggone. I hope that this does not mean we are in trouble. Jeez, that bums me out. All right, well, I'm gonna grab some jewels here and see if I can find one that might be oversized enough to where we can machine out enough to get past this point, because that scribe, whew, that's super deep. There probably is enough meat around here that we can make it work, but I am nervous, I have to say. A little bit nervous about what we're going to end up with. So for example, I have a 260. I just want to make sure that I'm not going so deep into what's on the calendar side when I try and put some of these oversized jewels in. I want to use the right size for minimizing any possible outcome that puts us. I think that one should do it, but I'm going to try and use the smallest one I can get away with, which may be a 200. So. Sorry for my head being in the way. Will the 200 do it? Let's bring it back into focus here. Yeah. Okay. So, if I can drill through that, or get that bushing pushed out, I may be able to go ahead and just put a 200 in, and we hopefully will be okay. So I'm gonna, man, boy, that's, well, now that I look at it, hold on a second, let me clean that up. Might not be in such bad shape. I was afraid there was a hardened bushing in there, but no. Okay, now I really see what they did. Okay, so here comes the better explanation. Let's get back. I see, I sort of jumped the gun on what they actually did. Here's what they did. They thought that by, sorry, scribing into this, that they could push that hole back over and close up that awful worn lower mainspring arbor board. But what they ended up doing is just putting a big gouge into the main plate. Now what I can do is machine out all the way through and go up to a 200 bushing or 200 joule and get rid of all that. So that's what we'll do. That's good. There's nothing that's going to impede us from doing that. That's excellent news. Okay, good. I feel much better. That will be gone, I hope. There may be some tiny residual, but most of it will be gone. Okay, good deal. Good deal. I think we're okay. I'm breathing a little easier now. Be a nice, big old, lovely jewel. I buy these bigger jewels because I always have this fear that this process is gonna be hard. And these movements are particularly challenging when it comes to jeweling, simply because of the nature of the way the calendar side has a lot more meat next to where you have to do your machining. And so there's a ridge or an edge, I'll show you where that is as we get that taken apart, that impedes your machining. And so if you're not very careful, it can push your basically your drill bit. It's not actually a drill bit. It pushes it toward the center of the movement, and that can lead to real interference problems if you're not extremely careful between the barrel and the center wheel. And that's a big problem. Then you gotta try really hard to make it right, and if you're not careful, it can really get bad. Okay, let's take off your wheel, your spring. So this is the spot right here, all this extra shoulder right here. This pushes your when you machine this out, it pushes you towards the center, and that's bad. You don't want that. You want this to be as straight as possible, and when you do this, you come through from this side and you make sure that you keep pressure on the outer, going outward when you go to machine that out, and you take very slow steps to get that right. So that's what we'll do, but we'll have to go to a much larger size than normal for this because of that damage that's been done. There's your center wheel. Okay, I feel better. I feel better. We will prevail over all obstacles with your watch. Off your date, advance. Everything looks pretty good from this side. Keyless works, and your quick date change. spring. Quick date change mechanism. Sure. Lever. And with that, we are done with the disassembly. Okay, so that's good. It's a good place to start. All right, so now let's go ahead and work on this mainspring arbor port. See if we can get that done before the end of the day, and put this in the bath. Man, they really bashed on this. You can tell from here they've actually warped the main plate a little bit. Okay, well, you know, that's the way things go. We'll make it right. Okay, Joe. Well, I was able to use our standard size jewel. I think the sizing is just right. There's nothing left of the previous carnage. So you're doing good. Everything's fine. Got your upper and lower mainspring arbor port jewels installed, so we're good to go. Next step is cleaning and getting everything right, and we'll start the reassembly process.